guys, it's Hannah and I'm here today with my Rainy's recent reads. So I'm going to be talking about my recent reads for probably the past couple, month and a half I'd say. I fell into a small reading slump. So first one is a Muggle Studies book club pick. Read this for March and I ended up giving this one 4 out of 5 stars. So this one is all starring a girl who is branded a traitor because her father was a pilot, and it's kind of like a dystopian type of world where they have to scrounge for materials and she hunts for rats and things like that. So she is branded a traitor, but all she wants to do is follow in her father's footsteps and become a pilot, but everybody is against this because he is the well-known traitor and they don't want her anywhere near this guy, and that is her only goal. So she's kind of fighting against everybody to get there, and that's pretty much the premise. I don't want to give too much away because they do hide some things in the synopsis, so you are surprised, and we really liked that. We talked about that in our Muggle Studies book club pick. If you want to know our spoilery thoughts, we keep all of our live shows live on our channels, so look for the Skyward live show. And I really enjoyed this. I do think this was too long of a book. I would say that it could have done probably maybe 150 to 200 pages less, but I did really enjoy it. I loved the humor in this, and I loved the way that Brandon Sanderson does character development. That's one of his strongest points, I think, in his writing style, is that we see more than we are told. So we get the feeling, we get to know the characters more. We don't really get like flat out written, here you go, this is what this character is. We get to see their personalities evolve by the way that their actions are shown in this book, and it's so good. I really liked the characters, I really liked the humor, I liked the personalities, and that says a lot from a plot-driven book. So I really enjoyed this. I probably will continue on with the next one. I just think it was a little too long. Next up is a graphic novel that I read for Dewey's, and that is Despicable Deadpool Volume 2, and this one I ended up giving a 3 out of 5 stars. I still enjoyed it because it was Deadpool. It's kind of hard to go wrong with Deadpool. I just love his antics, his character in general, so it's kind of hard for me to hate on anything Deadpool too much, but I felt that the different issues were not sequenced well. It didn't blend together well to be sitting in a volume like this, and each issue didn't really like pull me into the story too much. I've read better Deadpool, let's put it that way. So I still enjoyed it because it's Deadpool, but I would not recommend people starting out with Despicable Deadpool run if you've never read Deadpool before. Next up is a graphic novel that I read from my library, and I will pop a picture up here, and that is Black Widow Volume 1. I have never read a Black Widow comic or book or anything. I've just seen MCU versions of her, and I don't know why it's taken me so long to read anything from her point of view, because this was a really good time. I ended up rating this one a 3 out of 5 stars as well. I really loved the, it's probably like 3.5 maybe. So I really loved the artwork in this. It's incredible the way that the artist was able to tell part of the story, not just with illustrations, but the way that he did it with the plays on color. He played with different tones of red to play off her hair, and it was so well done illustration wise. It was great. I think the plot definitely drug down the story quite a bit. First few issues, we don't really get to see too much of her. Now she is a spy, so she doesn't divulge a lot of information, and I think maybe that's where they were going with this. But we don't really know too much about her, and especially being a Volume 1 issue, we don't know her backstory too much. We don't know how she became a spy. It's all very elusive, which I can understand, but then not. So I didn't particularly love it, but I understood why we might not have a lot of information because she is a spy. That being said, it felt very discombobulated as well with the issues. It doesn't really tie in. The thing that really got me excited to continue on with this run was at the very last issue, we got to see hints of Hawkeye, and a potential team up was teased. So I think if that's the case, that we get to see her play off of different personalities better instead of just clients she's working for. And I think that is going to be fantastic. So I do want to continue on with the run. I'm also looking into picking up another Black Widow series because I read reviews after reading this one and everybody said go read that one instead. So I haven't given up on her yet, but I'm really thrilled with the illustrators in that one. It was fantastic for just that point of view. Next up, I listened to God's Grave by J. Kristoff, and holy hell, this was good. I ended up giving it like 4 out of 4.5, like 4.5 probably out of 5 stars, because there is still the annotations in here, like big half-page chunks of annotations, but it's so good. The story like makes it worth it. I have to dock it because if I would have listened, or if I would have read it, I wouldn't have given it a higher rating. So I did listen to it on audiobook, and I highly recommend listening to it on audiobook because it makes the story more bearable to get through, because the annotations slide in and out very seamlessly. It's very well done, and this story is so good. So this, if you haven't, it starts off with Nevernight, is a revenge tale about assassins, and the first book follows her in an assassin school, and it's so good, and the characters are amazing, and this one is even more so. So I do think that I had a little of issues, but very minuscule. I think that she makes friends very easily for an assassin, and I feel like that shouldn't be the case. I feel like you need to be separated if you're an assassin from other people to make those connections. So I really enjoyed this. I can't wait. And then of course at the end of this there is a big cliffhanger, so I do want to continue. I just don't know if I want to read it or just wait for the audiobook. So I really enjoyed this, and if you haven't checked it out and you have tried to read it, I highly recommend doing it on audiobook because it makes a world of a difference. And last but not least is another Muggle Studies Book Club pick, and that was Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and I ended up giving this one a 5 out of 5 stars. This is by far my favorite book so far. It was so good. The character development, the way the plot lines worked. I don't want to tell you too much because this is the 3rd book in the series, but it is just a eerily spooky, so many different plot lines, and it's worked so well, and it's incredible. This is nothing new on BookTube, and I am finally getting around to it, and I am enjoying it so much. So 5 out of 5 stars to Blue Lily, Lily Blue. If you want to know more spoilery thoughts about this one, go ahead and check out our live show along with Skyward. It's in the same chunk. So that is everything that I have read recently, and let me know down below what you have read recently that's been a new favorite for you, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!